Imagine paying $100 just to walk through a door. No product, no guarantee, just the door. Thousands of people did exactly that. Welcome back to 8 Files. This is the story of UniCC, one of the biggest stolen credit card markets to ever exist online. Here's the question. If you were a scammer, would you pay $100 just to get inside one site when there were dozens of others out there? Some said no, but enough said yes to build an empire. UniCC launched around 2013. It stayed alive for almost 9 years. In this world, that's ancient. Then in 2021, Joker's stash, the reigning king of carding markets, shut down. UniCC didn't waste the opportunity. It absorbed nearly a third of the entire carding market. Almost overnight, it became one of the most dominant platforms in the underground. It got so big, it started showing up in music.
Go on bingo ducks and they'll charge you to activate. That's why I don't fuck with Unique no more, them niggas so petty.
That's from 2019, before the site even hit its peak.
Loaded up Unique, fire being, I know this bitch hit. I was never down on my ass, I was always getting it. I've been on this run since forever, I heard niggas finish.
And that one's from 2021, right when UniCC was at the absolute top of the carding world. 2 different rappers, 2 different years, same site. Stolen data doesn't usually get a soundtrack. UniCC did. But here's the part that made it different. The $100 fee. New users paid it in crypto just to activate an account. Not to buy anything, just to get in. That fee did 3 things. It scared off law enforcement setting up fake accounts. It scared off curious tourists. And it filtered out anyone who wasn't serious. If you paid $100 to walk through the door, you were coming in to spend. And it got interesting from there. If someone paid the $100 fee and wasn't using their account at the moment, they'd post on carding forums offering it up. Pay me $20, $50 bucks, I'll let you use my account. Now flip the perspective for a second. If you're a buyer and you can get into a fully paid UniCC account for $20 or $50 instead of the full $100, that's not just a discount. That's a flash sale on stolen data. It's basically a friend or family member sharing their Netflix login. Except instead of watching a show for free, you're browsing stolen credit cards for a fraction of the price. But it got even more desperate than that. The site was so popular, people started using software like OpenBullet, hoping and praying to crack their way into an account someone else had already paid for. For anyone who doesn't know what cracking means, it's simple. You take a massive file full of random usernames and passwords, and you run it against a website automatically, checking thousands of combinations to see which ones actually work. In this case, people were running those attacks against UniCC itself, trying to steal access to a site built entirely on stolen access. Cybercrime feeding on itself. So how much money actually moved through this thing? Blockchain analysts traced more than $350 million in cryptocurrency flowing through UniCC from card sales alone. That's not black market pocket change. That's Amazon quarter money. And people trusted it, genuinely trusted it. Why? Because it had been online for years. Because it had a massive inventory. Because it accepted multiple cryptocurrencies. Because it stayed up when competitors kept vanishing. You trust Amazon because it's been around. You trust eBay for the same reason. On the dark web, longevity is the closest thing to a 5-star rating. Here's another thing that kept people coming back. There were always other CC sites, dozens of them, at any given time. But the way UniCC restocked was different. When it dropped fresh bins, fresh batches of stolen card data, buyers would say those bins weren't showing up anywhere else. Not yet, anyway. Even if that advantage only lasted a few days before competitors caught up, it was enough. It kept buyers checking back. It kept UniCC feeling one step ahead. Here's something most people get wrong about sites like this. They assume marketplaces like UniCC hacked the banks themselves. They didn't. UniCC was a marketplace. Vendors listed stolen card data. Buyers browsed listings, like scrolling through an online store. Sellers built reputations over time. Buyers paid more for vendors they trusted to deliver working data. An entire economy running on the same trust systems as legitimate e-commerce, just aimed in the opposite direction. Then, in January 2022, it ended. but not with a raid, not with police banners on the homepage. The operators posted a message. They said they were retiring. They even warned users, don't trust any comeback site claiming to be the new UniCC. Those are fake. Most underground markets don't get a graceful exit. They get scammed by their own operators or they get seized. UniCC ran for 9 years and chose to walk away on its own terms. That's rare. That's almost unheard of. But the story doesn't fully end there. Shortly after the shutdown, Russian authorities reportedly detained a man named Andrei Sergeyevich Novak. He's been named in reporting as an alleged UniCC operator, and he was already wanted by the FBI for alleged ties to the in-fraud cybercrime forum. No public prosecution has definitively linked him to everything UniCC did. The reporting comes from investigative journalism, not a courtroom. So the full truth behind who really ran UniCC and why it really closed, still sitting in the shadows. Here's the takeaway. UniCC didn't survive 9 years because it was the most dangerous site on the dark web. It survived because it built trust, the same tool every legitimate business uses to keep customers coming back. Crime evolves, but the psychology behind it barely changes at all. Episode 3 coming soon. Please subscribe. We have exclusive products in my Telegram channel, which you can join, link in description